What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about the reality of affordability. I think I got that backwards. But I see a huge problem with affordability across the board with many people right now, especially here in 2022. And I was just trying to help a friend of mine out and explaining to her what exactly is going on, why you're in the red, why you've pretty much always been in the red, and you'll always be if you don't understand this concept of where you're at financially and where you're at to afford anything, a car, a rent, to a house, to go buy for a mortgage, your health. I want to talk a little bit about all of that here today. And the things I'm going to share with you today may seem like doom's gloom, but it's a way for you to get yourself out of whatever you're in and out of that and into something where you want to be, the pocket of life, right? I'm reading a book right now, one of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series called Why the Rich Get Richer, I think it's called. And one of the things they mentioned in there was phantom income. Those of you who've been following me a while know that I've come up with the concept of ghost expenses that we don't even really think about, right? You're driving down the road and your tire blows out. You don't have the money to fix that type of thing, right? You own a home and your air conditioner goes out. This is very common, by the way. A lot of people, which I believe is the future, I'm going to predict this in my magic crystal ball. I just know that a lot of people aren't aware of the information we're going to share today, such as people who purchase homes. The roof starts to leak, right? These are things that you can't even imagine. It could be a brand new roof, and then it starts to leak and cause damage. Do you have the funds to fix those things? These are the ghost expenses that show up. Now, Robert Kiyosaki in this book he wrote with somebody else, his tax advisor, I can't remember his name right now, but these phantom incomes are such things as when you're saving on taxes, right? When you invest in such things as energy, housing, a business with more than 1,000 employees, I think it is, you pay no taxes, right? And then you have the depreciation of your home and things like that actually are tax write-offs as well. This is money that would have gone out anyways, but because you're investing, it's like a phantom, right? Because you're investing, you get these tax write-offs. You get these things where you don't have to pay in, right? And also your tenants are paying off your mortgages and all your interest rates and all things on the loans that you borrowed. So these are things that people don't account for, saying, well, I'm only making this. No. Kind of reminds me the same as well if like my daughter, when she helped me out and I paid her $20 for an hour, and she goes, yeah, I did all that work for $20. And I says, well, not really. You most likely made about $30 in an hour, which is really good money. You're not accounting for the taxes that you'd have to pay off that $20. Do you see what's happening here, right? You think you're only making 20, right? So anyways, affordability issues. A lot of people are just spending money. They're buying groceries, they're getting gas, and the answer to a lot of people is to do without, right? To minimize your life so that you can actually afford life, right? Some of the things, I know I'm jumping around here, some of the things in life, if you're going to live off rice and beans and things like that, aren't very conducive to your health, right? And the price of the inflation rate is going up. The cost of everything is going higher, right? I know the place where I rent, it just keeps going up. So people's mentality is to do the rice and beans thing, right? And so you can actually save money when it's the reverse. We should start actually making more money. You need to get a second job or a third job, which is not very uncommon in the state of Hawaii, the Hawaiian Islands. It's so expensive to live there that a lot of the people there, when I did my research about moving there, was that most of them work at least 2 jobs, some of them 3, but they say it's worth it because they're in paradise, right? So a lot of people will start sacrificing things. It's a proven fact in sales that people apply to people's wants, not their needs, right? People need electricity, but they'll sacrifice some of the electricity, right? They won't run the air conditioner to buy a surfboard or a skateboard or something for some vacation, right? You want to apply to their wants, sell to their wants. That's what their mentality. We got to get out of this mentality because we'll always be stuck in the red. Now, why can't you afford something, right? Sometimes I agree. It's kind of a fine line with don't save, don't live simple, make more money. I think somebody should definitely do that, especially when we look at our health. We should be eating organic fruits and vegetables and healthy homemade meals. We should have the time to be able to do these things instead of eating fast food. But a lot of people don't they kind of don't see that, right? The thing I look at is I actually live simple, right? I live simple and I stack a bunch of cash. In my case, it's arguably where don't sacrifice, right? I don't really sacrifice. I'm not eating rice and beans and things like that. I'm eating some of the best food on the planet. My overhead is super low, but I'm saving that money for such things as investing and getting myself ahead in life once, waiting for the dip to happen, which sounds like it's definitely going to happen here soon. But a lot of people, I think the strategy of simple living works, right? And if you put that in conjunction with getting a second job and pocketing that money to get yourself out, to maybe say buy your first rental property or something like that, it definitely helps. But I think one of the things that we've got to think about is that the affordability issue is, we'll take the real estate because we just talked about that. This is actually a really good example. When you go to apply for a loan, as far as my knowledge goes, sorry, my nose is all stuffy right now, getting over the third wave of infection of the sebaceous sickness. A bank's going to look at you, and I believe what they want to see is 3 times your income, right? So let's just make even numbers here. I'll make it ridiculous too here, and this is reality in California. If you want to buy a house here, the medium house is going for around $3,000 to $3,500, around $3,000, right? So if I wanted to apply to get a loan to purchase a house, I need to make around $9,000 a month, right? And they're going to see that I have a third for food, maybe a third for some savings or some of those ghost expenses we were talking about, and a third to pay my rent. Now, when we start talking to people like Dave Ramsey, Act Your Wage, right? He's saying that you should have about your rent or your mortgage should be no more than a quarter of your income if you want to live a good life. So you have a quarter, let's just say $3,000 for rent, let's say $3,000 for food, things like that, maybe another third to invest in yourself, right? Another $3,000 invest in yourself, such as education, seminars, say maybe a gym membership, or I don't know, all kinds of different things, and maybe some of your utilities and things like that. And then a quarter of that goes to retirement. Every month you put away towards retirement. Now this makes sense. Now, what doesn't make sense about going back to that simple living with people eating beans and rice is when you live in a place like San Diego, California, where I live, and the affordability issue came up when I started rethinking about how much I should charge my clients, right? If you guys follow me, I own my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. And the way I come up with how much money I need to make is I could either do the mortgage loan thing where we need to make 3 times, right? Or we do the quarter it up with Dave Ramsey. So when I look at this, I'd say, well, if I'm going to do work for somebody, I want to make sure that I'm making enough to actually live comfortable. I deserve as well to live in a home, to either rent a house or have a mortgage, which I've just chosen not to at the time being. But when I quartered this up, I looked at my monthly income. What should it be, right? Let's just say that's $3,000 a month is what I should be, $3,000 for my quarter a week. So that's roughly about $12,000 I need to bring home every month. So multiply times, if I work 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, what is 3,000 divided by, let's make this simple for a lot of you to figure this out, divided by 5, right? How much do you need to make per day? How much is that per hour, right? And then one of the things, well, before I move forward on this detail, well, I guess we'll just finish it up. One of the things that the cookies that I found is that net or is that gross? And I'll explain this because a lot of people don't know, obviously, what that is. Gross is your what you make in totality, right? $3,000 a week. Net is what you actually bring home from that. So the banks will say that they want to see gross, I believe is what it was from last time I've checked. To me, this doesn't really settle in because you're not making $3,000. Remember we talked about ghost expenses and things like that? So you need to figure out what exactly is that number, because the IRS and the gross doesn't really give a crap about, what your rent is, right? What all the expenses are. If that net, what you take home after taxes, doesn't cover that rent and food and enough for retirement, you're in the red, right? So it doesn't make sense to me, the whole gross thing. It should be net. And when we talk about net, $12,000, remember the ghost expenses? That's not $12,000 a month you need to make. You need to add on at least probably another 25, 30%, whatever they're taking out of your paycheck on top of it. And this is very simple. I'll just say it. I guess a lot of these things I think are simple and a lot of people don't understand, right? So take 12,000 on your calculator plus, let's just say 25%, plus 25%, hit the percent button, equals, that's your number. So when we look at this, a lot of people are in the red. How much are you saving for retirement, right? How much are you investing back into yourself? All this hard work and everything, I think, is awesome, right? Bust your butt, go out there and get 2 jobs, get 3 jobs, but yet neglect your health. Don't go get exercise, right? That's just stupid. If you have children, if you have pets, if you have a relationship, no wonder why relationships aren't working, right? Many of them. A lot of people are tired. They're doing things they don't like. They're maybe working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or doing 70 hours a week at the same job and just barely scraping by. So until we understand this concept, many people will not only be poor for the rest of their lives, they'll be in the red, right? You'll have no retirement. And it's a scary thing that's happening right now because a lot of people have been, like, when you ask them, such as this person I know, and I said, well, how long have you been doing this? Like, forever. What do? I don't know what to do, right? And so those are things I look at. You have to take in consideration that maybe migration out of the area you're in, such as like if you're living in San Diego, to a spot where, if you're a 9-to-5 worker, go out there and figure it out. How much is the rent? How much is a mortgage? How much are groceries? What are all of these things? Calculate, know your numbers. Calculate these things, and now you know what to charge your customers, right? Now you know what kind of job that you should get, or 2 jobs, right? Or one of the things that I found living in San Diego, California, where it's just super, super expensive. A lot of people don't understand this as well. From my concept is that it's a gold mine. Now I fringe the wealthy, right? I live very cheap, very cheap. My rent is probably, I would say, a third at this point now of most people. I pocket all that money for investing and things like that. One thing you got to take into consideration is when you move to a new spot, say out of San Diego, California into, I don't know, Idaho or something, I'm just making stuff up. A lot of the things I found in other states is the pay rate goes down, right? Sometimes the food's a little more expensive, but the rent's cheaper. You got to balance those things out. So sometimes moving to a new location, maybe there's more affordability. You can actually start saving for retirement or something like that. But someone like me sees the opportunity. If you were a bartender or something like that, or a construction, a business owner of some sort, there are people here that are going to spend that top dollar. They want those goods, they want those services, and you're not going to get the same where people are, say, Idaho, where I don't even know anything about Idaho, just picking that one out. A lot of people are out there saving money. The pay rate isn't as high, right? So you're not going to make $1,000 a day working out there. You're probably going to make more like 500 or something like that, whatever you're doing. So those are some of the things I wanted to quickly mention today about the affordability issues and really try to help people out. It is. Once you start doing this, you're really going to figure out that, oh my God, he's right. I'm in the red. This sucks. How do I even get out of this thing? Well, I don't know what your present situation is, but the very first step out of this kind of crapshoot is to figure out what those numbers are, what you can do about it, to know that it exists. Look, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just living paycheck to paycheck. And guys, there's so much more I can say about it. The thing that I don't want to gloom it, you have to figure this out. Otherwise, you're going to be like everybody else, is watch the graphs, watch the income levels, right? For, say, the whole, since the past 100 years. Watch how much money the rising cost of paying employees, in contrast to CEOs, in contrast to real estate. Literally, it's gone up like 1,000%. The pay rate for business owners, the rich people, mortgages as well, right? There used to be able to buy a house, let's say 1940s, 50s, whatever, for like 13 grand, right? Now it's like 13 million, right? Now it's just shy of $1 million over here in like 700, 800,000, 900,000 in San Diego. But watch those graphs and see how much money has been used to take care of the middle class and the poor. It's barely anything. Wages have not risen very, very high. And if you look at people around you, they're just barely scraping. And I think this show is not really very sexy. because people don't want to hear this. They want to just come home and do their barbecue, drink their beer, get inebriated, watch TV, right? Not think about that. Get up on Monday morning and go back to work, do it all again, because now I have to think about these things. I have to do all this work. Well, guys, when you're on this side of the fence of it and you get past all that, you understand these things. It's not all doom and gloom. It gives you a map of, hey, here's how I can get out of this, right? Because the clock's ticking, guys. A lot of us are getting older. And what are we doing for our future? What are we doing to care for the earth, care for our own health and things like that? All we're doing is just working, and we're barely even getting by, and nothing has changed. It hasn't changed in the past, and the future doesn't really look too grim unless you take control of your life and do something about it. But the very first step, we got to understand these things, guys. So if you made it this far, speaking of that, I am working my rear end off, and I have not been posting these shows too much. I'm going to take out the numbers, I believe, of it, episode number that, right? I'm not even going to edit. I'm just going to put stuff in. I try to make my show also cleaner, because I did use a lot of profanity and stuff, joking and things like that on one of my shows, the Up and In It. See, guys, I'm recording this too. I'm also going to post this to both shows. I have Up and In It, which is the fun version, I think, and then there's the Resilient Living podcast, which is fun too, right? But this is more family orientated, more, I guess, professional. I was trying to make permaculture and saving money cool, more attractive, more sexy. As I was saying, I don't think the show, I don't know how far it's going to go with all this type of information, but yeah, I'm going to start posting, I think, mainly here on the Resilient Living podcast. Maybe phase out of the Up and In It. Lost a few guests. They listened to some parts of some episodes and they were like, show is ridiculous. It's profane, right? If you like that sort of stuff, go check it out. I'm not going to take it down. I just don't think I'm going to run too much with it. We're going to stick with Resilient Living podcast. So, blah, blah, blah. That's the show, guys. I got to get to work here on this Monday morning and go work in my garden, plant some more of my food, and get ready for ways that I can do phantom, income, right? No taxation on my tomatoes and cucumbers, right? They don't really care who's president. They don't really care what is going on. Inflation, none of that. They just keep growing. Thought I'd throw that little ticket in there. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for all your guys' support.